We interrupt your digital copy of Avengers Infinity War because it is Thursday, August 2nd, and we are 274 days away from Avengers 4. Unless Marvel moves the release date up again. Anyone? And it is time for Comic Book Now.
So good.
What's up, really Comic Book Nation? Welcome. I thought that was a strong intro.
This is awesome.
Yeah. This is Comic Book Now. We do this every Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. This is Charlie Rich. Psych. Chris Killian is here, ladies and gentlemen, looking handsome. Look at this.
Oh, thanks,
so
man.
well dressed.
You too, though.
Handsome
Look at we just touching each other.
I'm Brandon Davis. Call me BD. Welcome to Comic Book Now. Angela Lopez. First of all, I saw Angie Lopez in the comment section. Not having a good day. She watches every week. She says she's not having a good day.
Why is she not having a good day?
She had to take her kid to enroll in school. A whole bunch of stuff going on. She's having a tough time. Angela, I hope this helps. I'm going to give you a free digital download code for Avengers Infinity War.
I didn't even get a free download.
Sorry. Well, that's because I just gave yours to Angela Lopez.
You're welcome, Angela.
And I'm giving away another one on Facebook. Well, it's all over the place. We have one more to give away. You can find it.
That's pretty cool.
But speaking of Marvel, let's start. We have a lot to talk about. A lot of Marvel topics because Marvel's been in the news lately. None more so than James Gunn.
Oof, yeah.
So it seems as though Disney is not going to rehire him. That's the most recent
Do we know that for sure? These are just reports, right?
Nothing is for sure. Marvel hasn't commented. There's no official announcement, but credible sources like Variety, I believe Variety, when they say something, say that James Gunn is not being rehired. And I mean, from a corporate perspective, you kind of can't expect Disney to go back on this, even if the Guardians of the Galaxy cast said they want him. So look, I've talked last week, Charlie and I talked last week about how we think James Gunn should be reinstated, how you have to develop a sense of forgiveness for old jokes, even if you condemn the jokes.
I mean, they talked about when Variety was talking about it, how Disney's whole stance on it was not, you can't have something like this in the hashtag Me Too era, right? But he didn't say that in the Me Too era. It was a long time ago. So I'm with you there.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't think what you're saying, like you're not saying the jokes are okay. The jokes
no. I'm not saying that the jokes are okay, but it's not like he knew that. Like that was something, I mean, whether people like it or not. And they knew that when
they hired him.
Yeah,
These
exactly.
had already happened when he got hired.
Right.
I think he's shown growth. I've met him. I don't know him on a very personal level, but I believe the people who do. I think that for people like Chris Pratt and Dave Bautista to stick their necks out, risk their careers, to vouch for him, they must know him pretty well because they know what's at stake when you stand up for somebody, because social media can have that mob mentality come for you by association, and they're very unforgiving, and therefore the studios and the networks and the corporations react based on the trending conversation. Anyway, we're going to talk about who could possibly replace James Gunn in a worst-case scenario that he doesn't get reinstated.
Yeah.
The popular choice is Taika Waititi.
That's the only choice that I can think of as far as, like, if you're going to go with Marvel directors, that's the only one I think that's got that really eccentric sense of humor that could probably pull it off. But I think that either way, no matter who you get, not having James Gunn, we were talking about this earlier, he's so integral to the whole process. I mean, he wrote it and everything. I mean, it's not going to be the same kind of movie.
See, here's my thing. I like Taika Waititi as a director. I like him for Thor Ragnarok. I don't want him for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, and I'll tell you why. Thor Ragnarok was way too funny for me. But that's what it wanted to be. It did that, and it did it well. It wanted to do that, it did it well. But you have moments like the Hulk, you have Bruce Banner falling out of the ship, landing on the bridge in a very serious moment, all for a gag. What could have been an epic moment for a comic book fan.
I would have rather Hulk
moments
come
like
out.
that. The laughs are too extra. Thor lost an eye. It didn't feel like the stakes were there. Asgard got destroyed. It didn't feel an emotional stakes because there was a lot of jokes, which is what the movie wanted to do.
Sure.
And it did it well. Guardians movies aren't about that. Guardians movies have a lot more heart. They have a lot of stakes, and they're very personal stakes. I mean, in the first movie, they saved the galaxy, but you still felt the characters being connected to each other. And I don't think Taika did that with Thor, Valkyrie, and Hulk in Ragnarok. Not that he set out to, but I don't think he did that enough.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. I think the Guardians balances the drama and humor a little bit better than Taika did with Thor Ragnarok, but I still can't think of anybody else that understands the comedic beats the way Taika does. I mean, there's a reason why everybody's calling for him to be the possible replacement, but like I said, either way, I think it's disappointing because James Gunn is I mean, he's the guy behind Guardians.
I think he's the heart behind it.
Yeah,
for
absolutely.
Sure. There's no question. So I saw some people talking about should Bradley Cooper direct it. I mean, that'd be cool, but I don't think he's got a small movie coming out, the Lady Gaga music, and looks like a great film.
Right.
But that's not a big.
Do you think there's any opportunity that it ends up not being made?
I think they could change it. It's not too late to change the plans. That's why Marvel doesn't announce these things like Warner Brothers does with DC films. They're constantly shifting, and it kind of saves face when something like this happens. You could be like, well, we shifted things up, and now it's the Asgardians of the Galaxy, or Thor 4 with the Guardians.
Right.
Something like that, if Taika ends up... Anyway, who knows?
Did you just come up with Asgardians of the Galaxy? Because that was really good. If you came up with that, I was like, in my head, I was like, wow, that's a really good name.
Credit.
I haven't heard that.
Chris Miller and Phil Lord would be cool options, I think. The original solo directors.
Right.
They were making a Guardians-type movie, which is why they got fired, I think. Or Edgar Wright, Baby Driver.
Yeah.
I don't know if Edgar Wright could do something like that. He was once.
I mean, I'm sure that he could, but
it'd be a very different movie. Either way, it's going to be a very different movie from what it would have been with James Gunn. I'm going to feel weird walking into a movie theater and it's not a James Gunn product because this franchise has had a huge impact on me. I love this franchise, and I'm sad to see James go. Even no matter where you stand, I think it's a bummer to see James go. And I stand on.
If he doesn't get rehired, do you think his career in Hollywood is over, or do you
he'll
think
find other work?
Yeah, I don't think so either. I think he'll be back with
man.
something else.
He'll do other movies.
There will be other.
I don't know if a studio like Warner Brothers or Disney or Paramount or Universal or these big front of the line studios are going to take a chance on somebody who has this record, I guess.
Right.
It's like you have a record on the internet. It's basically what it is. It's like an asterisk. It's like Barry Bonds.
But it's so split though. I mean, I understand Disney because they're like a family friendly. They have the image that they're trying to uphold. But there are other people who fall on the other line of it who think that this whole thing is ridiculous. I mean, so I could see some other production companies kind of taking him on.
You never know. I mean, I hope so. I would watch James Gunn's movies. I think he makes great films, and I think he made bad jokes.
We're all guilty of bad jokes.
Speak for yourself. I'm perfect. Anyway, we sent Chris out. We're in Nashville, Tennessee, so we sent Chris out to Broadway, not for drinks, but to ask people what they thought about James Gunn, and here's what happened.
What's up, guys? I'm Chris Killian. So Disney fired James Gunn from Guardians of the Galaxy based on some old, really offensive tweets that he made about 10 years ago. Now, I'm going to go out and I'm going to get people's opinions on whether or not they think James Gunn should be reinstated. So wish me luck. Do you guys know who James Gunn, the director of Guardians of the Galaxy, is?
No.
I don't know.
I don't know him, but I love the movie.
All right, so do you know who James Gunn is, the director of Guardians of the Galaxy?
I think so, yeah.
Do you think he should be reinstated as the director for Volume 3?
Probably.
Most definitely.
I think so. I think he did a good job with everything. I don't think he should have got.
I think he did a great job too.
Yeah, me too.
Do you think James Gunn should be reinstated? Yeah, quiet. That's the best way to go right now.
I don't have like that strong opinions about it, but obviously, there are jokes that he made, like tweeted out, a long time ago. Don't want to take a hard stance.
I completely respect that.
Yeah, I'd say so, definitely, yeah.
Yes. I like it. I like him. I like the series. I like to see it go on.
Do you think that James Gunn should be reinstated as the director for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3?
I think that James Gunn is the only person that can do it well. He did it great for the first two. So jokes that he made 10 years ago, I think repentance is a good thing, and he makes great movies.
Sticking to Marvel for another minute here, the movie is available on digital platforms, Avengers Infinity War. And with the digital release came the commentary track full of goods. For example, directors Joe and Anthony Russo explained how Thanos knows Tony Stark, which gives extra meaning to his respect for Iron Man that he talked about and claiming to be cursed with knowledge. Here's what they pointed out. Both characters, though landing on radically different ends of the solution spectrum, yes, very, very different, are futurists with a lot in common, and Thanos knows Iron Man as the man who sent the nuclear missile through the wormhole in the Battle of New York from 2012's The Avengers. So that's a really cool connection. When you go back and rewatch the lines after knowing that, I think it's pretty cool. But the bonus features definitely don't stop there. Joe Russo and Happy Hogan himself, Jon Favreau, both had cameos in Infinity War, which were cut to keep the movie rolling quickly, but can be spotted on the deleted scenes in the digital downloads bonus features. You see that red circle right there? That's around Joe Russo. He likes to cameo in his own movies. And that's Happy Hogan looking at him, so I suggest getting Avengers Infinity War. Next, I have to talk about The Walking Dead whenever I can, and now I can. Well, here's a plot twist. Negan might be gone for good in the comics. In this week's issue number 182, a really good issue if you don't mind being reminded of everything Rick and Carl could have been on the TV show. The comics editor, Sean Makowitz, responded to a fan in the Letter Hacks section who asked about Negan, saying we won't see him ever again. Now, I'm thinking this is a giant troll job to see how the fans react to such a little throwaway response saying Negan is gone forever. I think he'll be back. But if he's serious, Sean, if you're serious, a lot of readers, including myself, are going to be real pissed off. So bring him back. Negan's redemption arc in the comics has been so good. Anyway, and finally, it wouldn't be a new month. Happy August 2nd if a new Batman rumor didn't pop up, right? Would it be? No, it wouldn't. Now, again, the rumor is that Ben Affleck is not going to be Bruce Wayne in Matt Reeves' Batman trilogy. You've heard this before on our show. Someone else is saying it. This comes from...
Wait a second. What?
Yeah, Forbes contributor, Mark Hughes, who claims to know this information. He put it out there in a tweet, and now it's the news.
Oh, my gosh.
But, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to skip it. We're going to skip the whole is he, isn't he crap, at least for today. And Chris, I'm going to pose the question to you because I don't think you've ever actually answered this on Comic Book Now. I actually don't think you have.
I don't know. I feel like I've answered this like a whole bunch.
Who should be Batman? If not Ben Affleck.
I only have one choice now, and that's Milo.
Oh,
Because if I don't say Milo Ventimiglia, he's gonna beat me up in the streets. He told me that.
He did. But but do you have like a?
You would think that casting Batman would be pretty easy. Like there would be a lot of big buff dudes that could play Batman. But when you start looking at the list of people who aren't already a superhero somewhere else, it's a pretty shallow list. I think I don't know. I feel like Armie Hammer would still be a good choice. And if you look at like the list, like Christian Bale auditioned for Batman before, like way back in the day, and they've all, so when you hear about these guys, they've auditioned like years ago for the role. I don't know, maybe it's his turn to come back around and get it. But Armie Hammer's a decent choice. I don't know, maybe Julia Roberts. Maybe we should have a woman play Batman.
Hot take. I see the comment section. A lot of people are very opinionated on who should play Batman. Alfonso Cuarón could handle Guardians 3.
Now, I love Alfonso Cuarón. He is a fantastic director.
He is a good director.
I think he's great.
Charlotte loves your idea of Milo as Batman. That was a fun little day that we had with Milo.
Yeah, Milo's great.
Threatening you in an alley.
Yeah, he was threatening you big time.
Either Affleck or no one, says Shane Dale. Shane, that's a hot take. So you're not going to watch the next Batman movie in the DCEU if it's not Ben Affleck? I don't believe you. I like the support. I think Ben Affleck's a great Batman, but I think you're bluffing.
You know what? I kind of liked him better as Daredevil. That's just me.
Wow. And that was the last time Chris Killian was on Comic Book
I am
Now.
just trolling so hard today. I can't. I'm sorry, guys.
They're never going to want to have
I know. I'm playing bad jokes.
Anyway, speaking of DC movies, we got to talk to the cast of Shazam, and by we, I mean me, at San Diego Comic-Con. Check this out. What's up, Comic Book Nation? BD here at San Diego Comic-Con. We're in the studio. The cast and director from Shazam. By now, I hope you've seen the trailer. If you haven't, big mistake. Go watch it. And then come back and watch this. First of all...
don't stop watching this. Watch it right after this.
Maybe pull up a new phone and watch it at the same time.
Open a second window and watch them both together.
I was so curious how you guys prepared for like young Billy Batson, superhero Billy Batson. Like, did you guys have to have conversations on like how to do this personality together, like had to make sure they line?
It was extremely hard. It was just, I can't even tell you. I mean, he's a kid. Look at him.
He was trying to figure out how do I act even younger than myself? How do I do?
He's a very ripped, hairy kid. This is all fake.
Ripped, hairy kid. Those are three very good descriptive terms for Shazam. Although I'm not like, because I don't have a beard in the.
No, you don't.
No.
But I'm saying now, currently.
Yeah, now I'm a ripped, hairy kid.
You're like one of those I'm not gonna say that. Never mind.
This is what happens. The last interviews of the day. This is what happens.
I know. Listen, we're here.
No rules. We got laughing people in the rooms next to us. It's insanity.
We're at that
no rules.
point.
Oh, right.
Well, no, we did like rehearsals and we just like had some meals together and had David's tutelage and guidance through that, and we tried to get as much time together as we could, but he was still working being a Disney star on Andy Mack, and he couldn't come to work.
I didn't do that.
And then he did, and then we made a movie together.
It doesn't seem like you guys get along at all, which had to be a huge problem.
It was so uncalled for.
It was completely
That's assault, young man. I don't know if you know that.
Unbelievable.
So uncomfortable.
security
And you know what?
outside.
Here, it was super hard for us to, what do you?
Even.
Well, we didn't even
It's
get
even.
to work
It was
together.
Yeah, no,
I mean, we
Yeah,
didn't.
were you guys ever on set at the same time?
Yeah.
Because-
We would
Yeah.
occasionally be on set at the same
Yeah.
time, but we never actually got to work opposite each other,
Yeah.
obviously, because we're the same
No.
person. It's like a time cop thing. If we ever, then the whole universe explodes. But Jack over here was fortunate enough to get to work with both of us.
They finish each
I
other's
should have been very bad.
sentences. No, not feeling it.
Each other's sandwiches.
No, we finish each other's
Sentences.
sandwiches.
Oh my!
I can't.
These have spent
I
way
can't
too
with
much
these-
time together this weekend.
They're just spoiled, these two.
Let me ask you this: whatever you can say, David, you might be able to chime in here. What is Billy's main mission in this movie?
Well, I mean, he's trying to find his family, or a family. He's convinced that his mom is still out there. But once he gets these powers, he's just trying to figure out what to do with them and how it works. And for that, he needs his friend Freddy, who's like a superhero expert, who helps him to sort of discover his powers and how to be a superhero.
Yeah.
Good answer.
Yeah, David.
Freddy seems like he idolizes superheroes, right? I mean, we see a Batarang, we see Superman posters. How much?
I don't know if you noticed. Can I say this? In the little bag.
Say it.
Okay, so in that little, because
I don't know.
I love that David was like, "Of course you." Actually, let me think about this really quick.
I'm not gonna say it just to be on the safe side.
No, don't say it. Don't say it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because super fans might be able to
Zoom in.
look at and
The
figure
little
it out.
bag, guys. Zoom in. Anyway,
Sorry.
Enhance.
so I mean,
so
what,
sorry,
what kind of influence do the other DC heroes who people have already met play on your characters?
Sorry.
What kind of influence do the other DC heroes who the audiences have already met in other movies play on your characters?
Well, they're all still existent in that universe. So Freddie Freeman does in fact idolize all those superheroes like Superman, Batman, the whole Justice League, because they're all alive and well in that universe, and I know all about them.
Well.
I know all about them.
You also get to be a little bit of a badass without superpowers. Like I saw in the trailer, you get to take some bullies down. But then Billy gets some powers.
I don't get to take him.
Oh, that was you?
I took him.
Oh, I looked at that
I
wrong.
get to-
Never mind. You're not cool. You're not cool.
I'm just a loser.
No, I'm just kidding. No. But so when he gets the powers, are you a little bit jealous? Like, because you're the one who seems to be idolizing
That's a great
him.
question. I get asked that. I haven't got that. I actually asked that once, but that's a great question.
You were wishing that somebody would
Yeah,
ask
yeah,
that,
exactly.
because it is a good question.
Because like
I'd be jealous. If it was me, I'd be like,
because also
why
I'm
couldn't
so
that be me?
obsessed with superheroes and stuff, but I'm so caught up in helping him and being his sensei, so I'm so selfless and wanting to help him, and that kind of fulfills my wish.
You get to live through him.
I get to live through his successes, which is what makes me also kind of.
It's a good friend to have. It's a good friend to
But
have.
still a little bit of envy.
Yeah.
Oh, so much envy, but it's in the back of my mind.
Well, I mean, Jeff Johns just launched a new Shazam comic where all the orphans have powers. So, I mean, is that maybe something we could see?
Could be. I mean, yeah. Well,
Perhaps.
Could be. Everything's possible. Everything's possible. David, I'm curious why it's set in around Christmas time, and like, will there be like a debate like Die Hard whether or not it's a Christmas movie?
Well, yeah, it feels like a Christmas movie to me. I mean, it's about family, and finding your family. You have these orphans or like foster kids who, and Christmas is very much a family holiday, so it sort of ties it all together in that way.
And we are, for the most part, kind of based off of, as far as material, comic material, New 52, and that was based in, it was a Christmas story in that issue. So I think that's got to play something into it.
Yeah, and that was the idea that Jeff Johns had for that as well.
Yeah,
that it's
to bring
a
that
family
family,
holiday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One person who's not here is Mark Strong, who I have so much respect for as an actor. I'm a big fan of him. I'm curious what you could tell me about his villain here. What can you say?
He's a villain who enjoys being a villain.
I know he's a guy. I know from comics he's a guy who really wants powers and eventually gets them in comics. So, is there anything of that we might expect to see adapted?
Well, we see a little sneak peek of that in the trailer for like 2 shots or something. Awesome. So yeah.
And I mean, the tone of the trailer. Speaking of the trailer, was so much fun. Like it was
so hype.
there was so much levity to it, which I mean, maybe with DC films we're not so used to, but also you might not be used to because your background is so horror. So many horror films that have scared the crap out of me. So did anything kind of challenge you in like changing pace there?
Well, I mean, I think my horror movies are kind of fun, as well as being scary. At least to me, they are. So it didn't feel like such a stretch, really. It was still sort of same kind of storytelling, and like humor and horror, I think, are kind of closely related.
Cool. And Zach, just when we saw the costume, you're looking big in there.
Thanks,
so
man.
I gotta hear about how much work it was to get into superhero shape.
Well, it's been a really interesting journey. I mean, yeah. Come on, guys.
Gonna hurt somebody.
Jumped into it hardcore. I was already. I mean, I've dabbled in and out of kind of intensive training and stuff, but I really jumped into it for this, and because I want to ultimately fully embody all that character is, and if we ever get the blessing or are blessed enough to go and make sequels and all that jazz, I want to keep working toward that. But it's also something. Just on a personal level, like I am super addicted. I'm in the gym like 6 days a week and eating copious amounts of calories and trying to keep putting on size. But also it's a weird thing because like I could only put on so much weight before then costumes said, you have to stop because we have to lock in the measurements of the suit. You can't keep getting bigger. We have to make these and they're very expensive.
You got too big.
So then I had to kind of hold it off there, and then I had to kind of carve down and all that jazz, and now I'm working on other things where I can't necessarily be, I think the most I got up to was like, I went from 200 to 224 pounds, so I'd gained 24 pounds, which is a considerable amount of weight given that, like gaining weight's a tough thing to do. Anybody who's ever tried to do that, I didn't realize just how, I always knew it was tough because I was always thin. And I no matter how much I worked out, I was like, I'm never really getting bigger. And like, how do you go become The Rock? Well, you eat just literally like, he eats haddock. He eats like white fish. Like, he eats like 2 schools of fish every day. The Rock does. People just hand him plates, and it's just one swipe. I think that's why he does fish, because it's just real slippery. It just goes straight down. That's just what no chewing necessary. Just, that's what it is. So anyway, so that's been a huge journey for me, and so I want to keep going. I think it's an awesome thing, and to be able to be whatever Billy Batson's imagination is of like what the superhero version of himself would be, which is what he imagines, which is what I am. That's a really cool transformation.
Well, dude, speaking of The Rock, are you ready to one day go face to face with a dude
Hell
like that?
Yeah, man! I would love for
one-on-one with the People's Champ.
Shazam and Black Adam to go head to head. I would love that, and I would love for like Shazam and Superman to go head to head, because in the comic books, those have been some iconic fights, and there's so many cool things we could do with the character. But one movie at a time. I'm just so stoked that we're here right now. That we made the movie, we got through that winter in Toronto. These talented young fools are gonna just continue to take over the world, and I'm just gonna hold on to their coattails.
Well, on that note, the obligatory question that they'll kill me if I don't ask, and you're not gonna answer, but I'm gonna ask anyway. Are there any other DC heroes in the film that people can expect to see?
Yes, the whole Justice League is in the movie, and we all die in the end.
Yeah. Everyone. You heard it right here, folks.
Boom, confirmed. Yeah. I love the cast.
I love them so much. I'm so excited about Shazam.
Yeah,
that's gonna be
trailer
amazing.
was great. They were great. I think the movie's gonna be a lot of fun. Now it's time for my favorite part of Comic Book Now. Questions, comments, Scott Eastwood, jokes. Not jokes, he's fantastic. But Chris is monitoring the comment section, as am I.
Right now, live.
I didn't print out a script today. Usually I'd crumble it up, throw it at you guys. But I felt that good about today's show that I didn't even need one.
Yeah, but it's your trademark now. It's like your Jimmy Fallon pencil or something.
Nobody sent me a GIF of it, so it's not a trademark yet.
All right.
Chris, what's going on?
Well, we're going to start off with a little softball of a question.
Oh, whoa.
Yeah, right now. Suzanne Carlson, she wants to know, how are you today?
Oh, first of all, look at the background.
Look at that. I did the background because I thought that was such a friendly question that I was like...
Suzanne, welcome to Comic Book Now. First-time questioner, first-time caller. Long-time watcher, maybe. I don't know, never heard her name before. Suzanne, thank you for the great question. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good too.
Anyway.
I don't know if she was directing that to both of us or just you, but I answered, so.
We're good, Suzanne. Anyway, thank you for your question.
Let's pull out something in the comments right now. Let's see what I got here. Lucas Severson wants to know how many symbiotes will be in the Venom movie.
More than one.
Yeah.
We
know Riot.
We have Riot. I'll bet you we see Carnage. That's my guess. I think you at least get a tease of.
I think we're at least gonna see as Carnage, or as Cletus Cassidy, I should say.
Wow, you have Gesundheit.
I'm sorry, but it's probably gonna be Woody. Sorry.
I think we will see definitely more than two. I think they really want to like set up a Venom verse, which is tough without Spider-Man.
I don't think that they're gonna. Spider-Man's got to be involved at some point.
No, I don't think so.
He's got to be.
I don't think he will be.
Oh God, I will be so mad if there's no Spider-Man.
More than one, more than two is the answer. Probably more than three.
Oh, you're still answering symbiotes. Yeah, there's gonna be a few.
What were you answering?
No, I was nothing. It doesn't matter.
Anyway.
Second question.
Third question.
Third question. Yeah. Sky Patterson, loyal viewer, he wants to know, Matt Reeves' The Batman standalone film, question mark, is going to be a reimagining of Batman Year One, or will it have a crime film noir Alfred Hitchcock thriller style and feel? That would left me no room to breathe. Hashtag CB now. You know what? I don't know.
Both of those are great. I honestly, who knows, dude? Probably more of like noirish, knowing Matt Reeves. He likes to really establish tone in his movies. He likes to go gritty. So they haven't even said anything about this movie.
I hope, I've been hearing a lot of Batman Year One talk lately, and I hope it's not that, because I think Batman Begins did such a good job with Batman's origin. I don't think we need to see that again. I think everyone's so familiar with Batman that all you need is, like, you can have him in his own thing. Like, I think, like, the Arkham games was a perfect way to handle Batman, where he's already established, and then you have the Rogues Gallery,
we all know who Batman is.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on, we know who Batman is. Honestly, I'm going to be completely honest with you, and this is not at Sky or anyone in particular. I'm so tired of talking about Batman. Because we don't know anything about this movie.
What?
I'm so tired of, is Ben Affleck going to be Batman? What's going to happen?
Man.
Just give me something
Rant
concrete.
Rant time.
Just give me something concrete, Warner Brothers. Like, just make an announcement. Tell me who's Batman. Tell me who's not Batman. Just say something. I'm tired of talking about it because I don't have the answers.
No, we don't.
Oh, I did see a good question from Angela Lopez. Was Wakanda affected by Thanos? Yeah, half of them are gone. But also, and they destroyed like a good chunk of that city or its fields, which already happened in Black Panther.
Yeah.
But I do think Black Panther 2, I think there's a really cool opportunity to do something similar to Iron Man 3, but do it better, because I didn't love Iron Man 3, where like PTSD of Tony Stark.
You're being so honest today.
Look,
There's
the PTSD of Tony Stark in Iron Man 3 after the Avengers, you have a cool opportunity to do that with all of Wakanda, how they were affected by Thanos being there, how they were affected by the Outrider attack. And give me like a ground level Wakanda movie. Like, show me how Wakanda works. Show me politics in Wakanda outside of the challenges from the Jabari tribe and all that. Show me what's going on. Show me what Nakia is doing to make it better for her people, and show how Thanos affected everybody's perspective of opening the country to the world.
Yeah,
I think that's a cool thing. That'd be cool. That's what I think.
I like it. I don't hate that idea.
Kevin Feige, hope you're watching. You're welcome.
Let's see. Let's pick out another question in here.
We have time for just a couple more.
All right. What? This is. I'm gonna let you take. Brady wants to know, what does CB stand for? I don't.
Duck your head. Go. Let's go back to Chris's shot. See that?
There it is. There it is. All right.
Comic book. All right. We have one more question. Then we're gonna.
One more question. Last question. Margaret Zabo wants to know, how many seasons do you think TWD should go till? This is not a question I bet you've answered before.
Actually, I don't know if I've answered. Yes, I have. Not on this show, though. I think Walking Dead could have ended in season 8. I think that would have been a really good series finale.
Or like 4. Just kidding.
Well,
I'm just kidding.
I think season 8 would have been a really good series finale because it tied up everything. There was no cliffhanger except for like the Maggie, Daryl versus Rick thing.
Like Maggie's baby.
That's not a story thread. Unless you're like really invested on whether or not the baby's born. We know it's but the series finale was great. Like it really wrapped up everything Rick has been trying to do. It had the letter to Carl. It was great. and then we're gonna lose Rick, and we're gonna lose Maggie, we're gonna lose people, and it's like they're gonna reinvent the show. I'll tell you this: after like 5-6 episodes of season 9, the show is gonna be very, very different. But I think it's gonna be good. But it's gonna be so different. I've heard a lot of things about season 9, and I believe in them, and I felt like season 7 and 8 kind of lost their way, very dragged out. Maybe could have all been one season. But I think season 9 is going to deliver. But no matter how good it is, are people going to care once Rick leaves, once Maggie leaves? Are people going to care at that point? I know there's a lot of Michonne fans, a lot of Carol fans, a lot of Ezekiel fans, but Rick has driven this show.
Right.
They have to spend the episodes they still have them to develop those characters if you want to keep people interested. And I don't think I think season 8 would have been a great series finale, but now I think it's open-ended. I think it goes on as long as people watch it, and they'll just keep trying to keep it on. Zombies, they never stop walking.
I think that's a great answer.
Did I answer the question?
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Well, that's what we do, guys. We answer questions on Comic Book Now. We do this every Thursday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Please share our show with your friends. Click like on our Comic Book Now Facebook page. You could be like Angela Lopez and win an Avengers Infinity War digital download code just for being here. This is Chris Killian, everybody. I'm Brandon Davis. We'll see you next week.